came up with is establishing formal benchmarks for smart contract audit quality. And where the idea for this topic came up was from the knowledge I have of loop scale. I can remember um, making some content for loop scale, and then at some point in March, I heard about the rate X exploits that happened, and they lost some amount of, I think, up to 5,000 USD. And when we were given the week one artifact on the program, I had to go through their audits, the last smart contract audit we did. And so the problem as it concerns smart contracts is that um, they lack measurable quality standards. Uh, there's no. I checked with Cetic, checked with Albon, checked with Hacken, checked with SpecShield, checked with Spearbit, and a couple of other audit firms. There is no central framework to measure the like to for quality assurance as concept the auditing that is done by these firms. Yeah, there's no framework to tell these guys to tell developers when and firms the audit that okay, um, this auditor did a good job. There's no industry-wide framework. Stakeholders cannot objectively compare audit quality. And 100% of what the protocol in my study, I researched 30 protocols, and every one of them, most of them had the hacks happen post audits, while some of them happened um, like 1 or 2 years before the audit. Yeah, so the scale of the program, we have 153 billion total value locked in DeFi and over 2.17 billion that's already stolen in 2025. That's this year. And incident rate across all audited protocols on our list is around 100%, with around 31% occurring. Yeah, the paper, this is just a rundown of what lies in the paper, and hopefully it will be published later. Still making some corrections. Right, so let me go forward. So to come up with a framework, I had to go through all of these smart contract audits to come up with metrics that would be the foundation of the framework. And the first one was vulnerability coverage. So vulnerability coverage, which is how deep did this audit firm go into checking the smart contract of this protocol? How deep did it go? Then the second metric was documentation quality. While you might have good information, the presentation of the documents might not be awesome. Then the testing methodology that was used. Some of these audit firms just read through what they are given, and they do not employ, say, maybe any software. I know there are popular softwares out there. They do not employ it, and some I think there's an example of a DeFi protocol that was audited, and like days after it was hacked. I can't remember, but on my paper I have it. And then there's comprehensive follow-up process. Most of these firms just point out the issues without giving out remediation that the protocol should follow. Also, the effectiveness of the audits, that's another metric I use, and the context. How well did the auditing align with what the protocol is aimed at? Yes. And I also to balance the framework, I give like in complex multiplier score. So we have simple protocols, we have complex protocol to help the framework. Everything is in detail on the paper though. To help the framework, I had to apply the multiplier. So say for example, let me do something real quick. Do something real quick. Here this start instead. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry about okay. Yeah, this start instead. Show your skill. Say we have loop skill, and this is what it's like when doing it manually. I worked based on OAP's top 10 coverage assessments, assess control vulnerability, price oracle manipulation, logic errors, lack of input validation, unchecked external calls, reentrancy attacks, lack of input validation. So I reached through the smart contracts audit report, and I point out each one of these details with the follow-up that was given, just like we have here. This is for documentation. This is the methodology. What scale did with the last smart contract audit? They did not use Slita or I've forgotten the name of the other one. Yeah, they did not use any of those known tools. It was a manual smart contract audit. Yeah. So back to this. The reason why I worked on it is because I think things would work better if there's a system whereby devs, founders, and developers can assess the quality of work done by auditors. Yeah, if we have that kind of framework, then if say Mr. A submits to Mr. B, Mr. A submits to developer a report, then the developer can check to assess the quality of the work done. But then I think there are different angles to this because I believe developers have give specific requests when they give out their the code base for auditing. And if the auditor focuses on what the developer asked and does not check for other things, a hack could still happen down the line. And it might be from somewhere that the auditor did not, the audit firm did not look at. So there are a couple of limitations as it concerns it. Right? This is just for the summary as it concerns the entire work. And I tagged the work preliminary, but I have plans of playing a long-term game by first reaching out to these audit firms to run internal testing professionals, refine it, build it up, right? To get it to be a regulatory industry standard, industry standard where firms will have to work with it. So say NEPTA 5 or Perena gives out their code base for audit. When the report comes back to them, they can use the framework to check the quality of the work done. And those metrics that I mentioned earlier would be what would are the foundation of what holds the metric. Yeah. So hopefully I would work with people that would make it an automated assessment to other things down the line. So funding is needed, people to work with is needed. I'm only a writer, a researcher, so I'll need this the dev to work with. And I think that's it's not a published. I can't publish it because I've not gotten feedback from Jeff and Israel. Sorry, not Israel, friends, and on the quality of the work. So I still think I'll have to do a lot of correction as it concerns formatting and the conciseness of the work. So that's all. Thank you very much.